CQ, CQ, CQ. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Country Roads Net. This is Control Station AB8RL, Alpha Bravo 8, Radio Lima. My name is Tom, and I'm located in Hurricane, West Virginia. The Country Roads Net is a direct-to-net and meets on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. for the purpose of fellowship among amateurs, exchanging information, and testing of amateur radio equipment. This net is connected to the West Virginia link room, ID 46488. When you're checking in, please sign phonetically and give your name and locations with announcements for the net. Please call net control. Do we have any mobile stations? Any mobile stations out and about? Anywhere? Call now. Okay, nothing heard. We'll start with local check-ins. With the Charleston area repeaters, the 14721 in Charleston, 14721, and the 441825 repeater in Scott Depot, West Virginia. Calling in control.
Net control, please check in AA8WZ. Alpha 8 Whiskey Zulu. Terry in Cross Lanes.
Good evening, Net control. Please check in Kilo 6 Juliet John in Scott Depot.
Net control, please copy Kilo Bravo 8 Zulu India Oscar KB8 ZIO Scott Cross Lane.
Okay, if I copy these stations, AA8WZ, Terry in Cross Lanes. Good evening. K6JAG, John in Scott Depot, West Virginia. KB8ZIO, Scott, another Cross Lanes check-in. And again, we'll stand by for check-in on the local 14721 in Charleston and the 441825 in Scott Depot repeaters. AB8RL standing by.
Net control, please check in Kilo 7 Delta November X-ray KK7 DNX J from Clay County, West Virginia.
Okay, copy Jay, KK7 DNX. Always appreciate your check-in, Jay. When you're checking in from Clay County, you're a test on how the repeaters are working. You're about our furthest station on a regular basis that checks in either on VHF or UHF. We'll move on now to any state of West Virginia. Anybody in the state of West Virginia, call me.
03X Oscar K3XO near Martinsburg in Berkeley County.
Whiskey Victor 8 Bravo Sierra Butch in Kaiser.
With Sterling and Martinsburg, West Virginia. Any other stations in the state of West Virginia, call now.
November 8 Yankee Randy in Morgantown.
Okay, copy N8 OZY Randy in Morgantown. Any other West Virginia? We'll now go to check-ins anywhere. Anywhere.
On November 8 Hotel Uniform Bravo in the on in Columbus.
About 96 miles northwest of Minneapolis and St. Paul, in about the middle of the state, N0 DJN, that's November 0 Bravo Juliet November.
This is Kilo Delta 9 Golf Victor Sierra, 89 GVS, another wreck in west central Wisconsin.
N4NT, November 4, November Tango, Adam in Bristol, Tennessee.
Kilo Delta 9 Lima Oscar Radio KD9 LOR Doug, Avon, Indiana.
Knowledge of following stations. N8 HUB Andy up in Michigan. N0 BJN up in Minnesota. K9 GVS in Wisconsin. And KD9 and LOR Doug in Avon, Indiana. Any other check-ins anywhere, call net control.
N4NT, November 4, November Tango, Adam in Bristol, Tennessee.
Minnesota.
N4NT, November 4, November Tango, Adam in Bristol, Tennessee.
JNY, John, 4NT, Adam in C, and AE0, NCV, if you will, in Rockville, Minnesota. We have check-ins calling it. Nothing heard. So nice group of amateurs this evening. I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't sound my normal self tonight, but I'm not going too bad. I just got a little bit of a sinus issue, but I'll hopefully it'll be gone in another day or two. So let's go up to the top of the list. I think we'll have around us some great comments here this evening. The question I kind of have here for this evening is we just passed through Black Friday, and then we had Cyber Monday this past Monday, and that's time of the year for amateur sales where most products are deeply discounted this time of the year. So if there's a time to buy something, now's it. And the question is, did you take advantage of any Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales this year? If not, just general comments. AAWC's up first. Good evening, Terry. AB8RO.
Well, good evening, Tom. Everybody on the net. Terry, Alpha 8 Whiskey Zoo here in Cross Lanes, West Virginia. Hope you get feeling better, Tom. You sound pretty good tonight, though, but hope you get feeling better real soon. It is going down with the temperature here. As far as the Cyber Monday and the Black Friday, didn't do anything for amateur-related activities, but I did get a few things on Amazon that were a pretty good deal. Well, you're going to have a great number of check-ins and a great net, Tom. We'll send it back to you. AB8RL from AA8WC, Terra in Cross Lanes.
Sure, I bought the antenna analyzer. So that was a great piece of equipment to own. But like you, didn't buy some odds and ends I can use. So next up on Depot. Good evening, John. K6JJG, AB8RL.
Good evening, Net Control, AB8RL. This is K6JJG. I looked on Black Friday, I looked on Cyber Monday. Well, honestly, I look every night on the internet, but didn't find it. Things for the family. So back to you, nothing further. K6JJG.
Okay, John, very good. One question I have for him is Mark II-G. Did you get it repaired?
I have been in contact with the repair center in Georgia, and they have sent it back. I haven't received it yet, but I will. So I hope to have everything again and running by January, and I'm reworking the station here in the house with the desk I have. So.
Okay, very good, John. Well, I know you sent your radio away, and it's taking you off the airways for a while. Hope you get it back shortly. Okay, good evening to Scott, KBAZIO. You're next, AB8RL. Good evening.
Good evening, Tom, and everybody else on the net tonight. Or Hammer. I did run out to Lou's with my grandson, and he looked around for things. I bought some batteries for drill, and that's about it. And I'll just go ahead and give it back to you, and I'm going to go lay down on the bathroom floor. Not feeling good. KB8ZO.
Okay, Scott, very good. Well, I hope you feel better. And, I hope you feel better. So take something for what's ever ailing you there. Some good rest. I just seem to get up early every day. I can't sleep in much past 6 o'clock. I start stirring around 5:36 in the morning, and I wish I could go to about 8 or 9, but I just normally don't. Okay, good evening to Jay up in Clay County, KK7, DNX, AB8RL.
This is KK7, DNX, Jay in Clay County. Greetings, everyone on the net. My purchases dealt directly with Hamley because in the first part and second week, one more line to my MR. I've got some shorter cables, and I got a replacement cable and some new PL259 connectors so I can shorter cables out of the ones that I were pretty much in the middle of my feet. And the new crimping tool was very upset with myself today. I guess the rainbow good news is that now I've got some more shorter cables that are the LMR 400 type play around with my antennas. So ironically tonight I haven't switched over from my NFET for tonight's net, so I'm actually broadcasting going across from me to you guys. So that's all I got from Clay County this report, so I'll send it back to the net. This is KK7DNX, J and Clay, 73.
Your comment on the net. You broke up once in a while. You were 90 into the. You're always solid normally. Good evening to Butch up in Kaiser. How's your weather up in Kaiser, Butch? I think. How much snow do you have? WV8BS, AB8RL.
Hey, AB8RL and the net, WV8BS. Well, first of all, I want to say very good evening to you, Tom, and everybody on the net. Tom, hope you get feeling better. It sounded like Scott was under the weather there as well, and I guess there's a lot of it going around, so I hope everybody gets feeling better. Well, it's turned kind of cool up here. I think it was 18 yesterday morning, and they were calling for over a foot of snow on the ridge line behind me, but it goes up to about 3,400 feet, and I'm sitting about 3 miles away from that down in the valley at only about 800 feet. So we only just had a skiff of snow, a little bit of ice, a little bit of snow, but it was enough to shut the schools down this morning, and I think they're on a couple-hour delay for tomorrow morning. But other than that, let's see your question. I didn't do any Cyber Monday shopping for myself. The daughter and grandson was in some South Carolina, so we took them out, and they got a few little things. I did get me something. They had to get me a water pump and a new belt for the old pickup. I wouldn't call that ham radio related. I guess it transports one of my ham radios around. That's about it. Tom, everybody take care. You have a great evening. Hope you get feeling better, and thanks for letting me join in. Back to that, AB8RL, WV8BS.
Okay, Butch, very good. I guess you don't have to drive too far if you want to see snow. I think so far this year we've seen a half an inch or maybe an inch of wet snow on the grass, and it melted away in a very short time, and haven't had anything since. Grew up in Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh, and back when I was a kid in the 60s and 70s, we always had snow. One thing I did buy from Amazon this year was Apple AirTag next year, and my son bought them last year. He went on a trip, and he got to see where he put them on his baggage, and he monitored his baggage onto the airplane. He knew where it was on the airport grounds, and everywhere that luggage went, he tracked it. So we're to cruise June, and I think hopefully it'll be a handy thing to keep an eye on where my bag is at in case they are late getting it to me. But I saw his in action. It worked remarkably well. And maybe around here I can put them on my grandchildren for when they're playing as well. Okay, thanks for checking in from Kaiser. Appreciate you. K3XO, good evening. AB8RL.
Well, good evening, all. This is K3XO. And as far as any shopping that I've done, well, honestly, I've been pretty self-indulgent over the last year or so. So I was kind of went easy on it in the last month because I pretty much got everything I've wanted over the last year. But that doesn't mean the new year won't come up with something else. But for the time being, I'm sort of standing pat, and I'm pretty happy with what I've got. So I will I'll go ahead and use it and learn how to use it properly. Thanks for doing the net. 73 back to net. K3XO.
Okay, very good. If I'm wrong, do you go by the name Sterling, or do you have another name you go by? I'm using that the FCC database. Over.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured something like that. Yeah. I go by the nickname of Rip, R.I.P., like Rip Van Winkle. Doesn't show up in the official records, sir.
Okay. I said, remember, I said, I updated the net logger here, so thank you very much for that. Okay, let's go up to Morgantown here to Randy, N8OZY in the net, AB8RL.
Hey, good evening, Tom. Randy in Morgantown here. Kind of been missing in action for a while, but some things just jump all over you, and you got to deal with. Anyway, good to be back and to hear everyone again. Got 21 degrees here and about an inch of snow on the ground. We had some tremendous wind last night, and the thunderstorm actually came through just before the bottom dropped out of it. So we've got that mess there. As I say, we've got 21 degrees now, and it's not snowing, but they were talking about some lake coming back in. Didn't do any ham radio related buying, but I did update my smartwatch over the weekend, or with Black Friday and Cyber Monday stuff. So waiting on that to come in. My old one was still working, but it was having some issues and several years old, and I thought it was just time for a new one. So anyway, good to talk with everyone again, and I'll turn it back to you. N8OZY 730.
Okay, very good, Randy. Thank you for representing the northern part of the state today, Morgantown, and good luck with your new smartwatch. Okay, before we continue and go up to Andy, let's take a standby. We'll take a standby here for new and additional check-ins for the country RoseNet. Call Net Control, AB8RL.
Net Control, this is Kilo Echo 8, Papa November Yankee, KE8PNY, Jim and Tornado.
Net Control. This is Kilo Echo 8 Lima Juliet Lima.
Okay, copy KE8PNY, Jim and Tornado. Thank you for checking in, Jim. Good to hear you again. And I copy KE8LJL in Morgantown. And KE8LJL, what is your name you go by? I have it here off the FCC databases as Pendle. Over.
This is KE8LJL. I go by the middle name, Ronnie. Romeo, Oscar, November, Indigo, Echo.
Okay, Ronnie, got it updated. I figured you went by another name. That's why I asked. Any other check-ins? Call Net Control.
K3XO recheck.
Okay, let's go up to Michigan to our friend Andy. N8 HUB. How's your weather up in Michigan? AB8RL.
AB8RL and a group N8HUB. Good evening, Tom. Thanks for doing the net. Sounds like you got quite a group going there tonight. But we're sitting about 27 degrees with about a foot of snow on the ground. Waiting for the warm-up Saturday and Sunday and Monday. It's supposed to be in the 40s. We're supposed to get some rain, too. So had a little bit of thunder and lightning last night, a little bit, but it didn't rain much. It just blew over. So hopefully we'll get it for the weekend anyway. We need a little bit of warm weather here to melt the snow. As far as the question, I didn't do any sales over the weekend, Black Friday on there, but a couple of months ago, I did go to a local ham fest and picked up the Asu FTM 400. It's got the bigger screen on it. I'm going to put that in the mobile when the weather gets right here and get that going. But not too much else otherwise, just kind of waiting for it to warm up. Hey, thanks for taking my check-in. Back to you, N8HUB.
Good, Andy. Yeah, the FTM 400 is a nice radio. That's what I'm using. It has a very nice large screen to view. And I have it on a little plastic stand you can get for them and move it anywhere you like. Okay, thank you for checking in. Now, I heard K3XO as a recheck rip at the very end. So let's go back to K3XO as a recheck. Go ahead, Rip, AB8RL.
Okay, thanks. This is not really important, but just for the record, you got me in the net logger as a rest in peace, R.I.P., all caps. Normally I use it capital R, small I, small P, because I'm not ready to rest in peace yet. K3XO, over.
That logger there, Rip. Yeah, I put it in all caps mode, so the calls all go in as caps. But when the names populate, some populate automatically in small characters, and well, a lot of my entries goes in as all caps. We got it corrected there. Okay, next on the list is Rick up in Minnesota. How's your weather, Rick? Up in Minnesota, cold country, snow country, N0BJN, AB8RL.
Hi to Tom and everyone on the Country Roads Fusion West in the West Virginia room. We're under the cold side of things these days. We're at 8 degrees this hour, and our wind chill is probably right around 10 or 12 below zero. So we've headed off into winter. We got maybe a ½ inch of snow here so far on the ground, so nothing like we normally would have at this time of year. But the winter is long, and we have plenty of time for more snow. So anyway, to answer your net question, I didn't buy anything on Black Friday. I tend to stay away from that because there's so many crazies out shopping for that. And I didn't order anything off the Cyber Monday stuff. I'm sitting pretty good with ham radio gear. I have 3 of the FTM 400s. As you said, they're a good radio. And I have 2 of the FT70s HTs. Those are great little bare bones HTs, and all of it works pretty good. So I'm fortunate in that regard. I'd like to invite everybody over to the Dark Digital Net, and that is Saturday nights at 9:15 Eastern Time in the Dark Room 40012 on the Wires X software. You can also get there on the FCS 001-55 for hotspots, 5-stars, Zoom spots, and all the other cool devices we have in ham radio. And you can also get into the dark room on the Echo Link by connecting to the N0BJN-Alpha Link. It is an Echo Link node 925804. Echo Link is free software you can get from echolink.org. You can throw it on an old junky computer you may have laying around, or you can get the free on your phone, and your phone becomes an HT. So we had an Arizona check in the other day. I come in on the Echo Link. I talked to John down there for a little while, and he liked what he the Echo Link side of things. Anyway, in the Dark Digital Net on Saturday nights at 9:15 p.m., we've been running a just for fun net question. The question we ran last week is on the TV show Gilligan's Island. Why couldn't the professor fix the hole in the boat? Some of the possible answers that came up from that was the professor couldn't find anything waterproof on the island, there was no way to make the boat float, or Gilligan sank the boat. I'm kind of thinking Gilligan sank the boat. With that, thank you so much for letting me on the West Virginia Net. Got a good group going here tonight. Stop by and visit with us here in Minnesota in the dark room. With that, everyone have a good week. We'll send it back to you, Tom. Thanks for being there. From Rick in Minnesota, N0BJN.
Okay, Rick, real good. Well, that was a good question. Why couldn't they fix the boat? Well, you know, the professor was always able to fix a radio to listen to broadcast stations. I think it was like an AM or FM broadcast radio. It was always broke, but he had a way of fixing it. I don't know how. That's the way it goes. And you can still watch those shows on TV on a variety of different needs there. They were the best shows. Okay, let's go down to Rick in Rick RL.
Well, good evening, Tom. There, Rick here in west central Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm similar weather here to N0BJN. We're about 200 miles or so southeast of them, so you know, it might be 1 or 2 degrees warmer, a little south. But yeah, I didn't. I perused the internet there on Cyber Monday and Black Friday and all that stuff, but I didn't pull the trigger on anything. I guess I didn't need anything bad enough that day. But as we speak, I'm actually on looking at ham radio outlets, and and a couple other items I do sort of need. So didn't maybe missed out on a sale or two, but oh well. I guess that's fine too. They got some good prices still. All right, Tom. Always good hearing you guys out there. So on Thursday nights, normally I'm out the bowling league, but tonight I'm home. Got the night off, so glad I could join you. Everybody have a good rest of the week. 89 GVS.
Okay, very good, Rick. The good price they had on a handheld was the Yaesu FT5 dual band, and I think those were going $359, which is about as low as you're going to get them from the year, the FT5. But I already have one, but it was a good price I saw online. Okay, good evening to Doug in Avon, Indiana. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York, the Macy's Parade, there was maybe a high school band from Avon, Indiana participating. You brought up about that if I heard right. I know. DB8RL.
DB8RL, 89 LOR. Good evening, Tom, and everybody on the net. Yes, there was a band locally here that got to go to the parade, and that was pretty cool for them. Actually, the Brownsburg, which is the next community north, won the state, and we got to go to Lucas Oil last Friday and witness that. A family friend has a son that was playing on the team, so that was pretty cool to see them in the state championship and win it. And on the subject of didn't get anything Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Looked, but didn't pull the trigger on anything. So, but that's about it from here. We're looking forward to the weekend, trying to stay warm. It's about 20 here. Actually, it's 19 now. And we've had some chilly temps here for the middle of Indiana. So we're looking forward to, it's supposed to be a little warmer tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that and the weekend. But Tom, thanks for calling the net, and thanks for picking me up here in Avon, Indiana. KD9LOR, back to net control.
Okay, very good, Doug. Fine and dandy. Glad to hear you were down there at the Lucas Oil in there in Indianapolis. I was there 8 years ago when Penn State played Wisconsin for the Big Ten championship. And this Saturday, Penn State's back there playing Oregon, the one team in the nation, for the Big Championship. That should be a stellar game. I hope my Nittany Lions come out on top. Okay, thanks for checking in. Glad to have you as always. Okay, good evening to Ron, W8CNY, up in the DB8RL.
Hey, good evening, Tom, and everybody on the net. It's 23 degrees here in Columbus area, and the wind's blowing like crazy. I walked out to the mailbox today to get the mail, and the wind blew my hair straight up in the air. When I got back to the house, I looked like Larry off the Three Stooges. So it's really cold, too. The wind chill factor is really cold. But it pushed me back up in the 50s by Monday and Tuesday. And Cyber Monday, I got some of those Apple tags. Like I think you mentioned those, and I got some for the wife because she's losing things all the time. And I thought that'd be a great thing to have anyway, in case you lose a purse or something like that. It'd be nice to have. And I hope they work pretty good. I think they do. They have good ratings on them. And I need some memory foam to put in my shoes so I know what I was going into the kitchen for. So that's what I'm hoping to get, some memory foam tennis shoes. But here it's just trying to stay warm and enjoying retirement. So I'll give it back over to you, Tom, WAJNY.
Okay, very good, John. Well, like you, I worked in transportation all my life, and the worst time of the year was between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was always a nasty time of year to be in the delivery business. Probably worse now than it's ever been with online shopping. And I'm glad I'm retired and no longer part of it. I'm at peace now for sure. Okay, let's go down to Tennessee now to Adam. Good evening, Adam. Tell us how's your repeater systems doing down there? I saw your club website there where you lost your antennas and tower in the winds a few months ago. And how did you all fare out from that? Some antennas back up, or what's your status on that? But I saw your updates on that as it happened. N4 and NT in Bristol, Tennessee. Yeah.
Well, good evening to everybody on the net. Yeah, we're still kind of status quo. When the storms from Hurricane Helene came through, the winds and everything knocked a tree over and into our tower and bent the tower about a quarter of the way up or so, and just put it over in some trees. So we, our main repeater just stopped working. I think it severed the coax line for it, and that's how we figured out what was going on. We had a GMRS up there and another repeater that was working, but with the tower leaning, we went ahead and shut everything off because we didn't want any SWR issues or anything like that. So it's kind of status quo. That repeater site belongs to the city of Bristol, which I actually work for, and it housed their backup radio system. They went to an 800 megahertz trunking system years ago, and originally were on VHF, and they put the VHF back as a backup, and that's what that was when we were up there with them. So it's not a huge priority or a big hurry for them to get fixed, but the last meeting I had with them about it, they still have a desire to fix it, so we're at least have that. So in the meantime, we've got some local repeater owners have some mountaintop repeaters that are allowing us, we're having our regular club net on one of those repeaters, and most of our folks have kind of migrated over there and are using those, and then kind of were using them before anyway, since they were local mountaintop repeaters. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. So once we get them back up and going, I'll get our node connected back up. But yeah, as far as Cyber Monday or Black Friday, I purchased a gift for my wife that was considered a Black Friday deal, and of course I won't say what it is just in case she listens to the net by chance. I am recording the net, and we'll upload it to YouTube later. So there's a chance she might hear it. So I'll just keep it under my hat what I got her. As far as ham radio goes, I kind of agreed that since back in October I purchased my buddy's Flex 6600M after he upgraded to the 8000 series, and of course that still costs a pretty penny even secondhand. So I told my wife, I said, I don't really need anything. I've got that, so let's, but knowing her, she'll get me something. Anyway, let me turn it back over to Net Control and say 7-3 to everybody. This is N4NT.
Okay, Adam, very good. Yeah, I drove through your town, Bristol, about a week after that tower went down. My wife and I went to the Smoky Mountains for a couple. What is that? Is it the 4-lane 81? Is it 81 that goes from Whitfield to Knoxville? But we drove through your area. The radio on at the time. Figured the repeaters were down anyway. I would put a call. Okay, we got 3 more on the list, but we stand by for any additional check-ins here for Country Roads Net. Control, AB8RL.
AB8RL on the net, please acknowledge KE8WRY, Kilo Echo, Whiskey Romeo Yankee, Sean M. Buffalo, West Virginia.
November 8, Oscar, Yankee.
0, November, Charlie Victor, Minnesota.
Okay, I copied the following stations: N8OYY, Ed up in Fairmont, and K8WRY, Sean in Buffalo. And I did have on the list here KE0NCV in Rockville, Minnesota. And you're up next. You were next on the list after Adam. So good evening to you. KE0NCV in the net, AB8RL.
Well, good evening to everybody in the net this evening. This is my first time on your net. I just happened to have the radio on and listening along while I was watching some football and was able to get into your net. The only thing I'd like to add to the Black Friday is a friend of mine and I practiced the same thing and got 100% off on the item, and that is we did not go shopping. We never left the house, so it works out well for me. I'll send it back over to Net Control.
Okay, very good, Phil. Thank you for being a first-time check-in, and hopefully you can join us again on Thursday nights. It's Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that has been on for 4 years now. And if you can, what is the score of the game currently? Over.
Well, actually, I'm just watching some Vikings recaps. So, looks like we're doing pretty well right now.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, thank you for checking in. I hope to hear you on again. Always great to have stations from Minnesota check in with us here. Okay, let's say good evening to Jim in Tornado, KE8 TNY. Good evening, ABRL.
ABRL on the net. This is Jim, KE9 in Tornado. I did absolutely no shopping whatsoever on either day. In fact, since I got back from deer hunting, I haven't left the house since I had. Just taking my time and relaxing. Back to the net.
Well, very good, Jim. And I guess that's why we haven't heard you on some of the recent nets. You must have been out in the woods there. And we'll look forward to seeing you on Monday.
But that's for Black Friday shopping. I didn't do really anything other than order a new jacket for myself because one of those fireman pullover deals. One I've got many years old and it's starting to fall apart, so it was time for a new one. And you know, they were on sale, and she was out doing Christmas shopping, so I ordered myself something. Getting her stuff ordered, but that's about it. Just trying to stay warm. And I guess I'll just turn it back over to Net Control. We ain't really got much else to say. This is KE8LJL 73.
Okay, very good, Ronnie. Well, as you know, Morgantown's in the news as of late, looking for a new head coach up there. So that's all we hear about every day and read on the social media there. Thanks for checking in. Glad to have you. Okay, good evening to Ed up in Fairmont, N8OYY, AB8RL.
Yeah, AB8RL and Country Net. Evening all, and everybody else on the net so far. My wife and I went and had dinner and stopped by Walmart, picked up the new printer we needed, and back to the house. So I just remembered the net and thought I would see if it was still going on and check in. But as for Black Friday shopping, I was going and tried to buy television at one of the local Walmarts here in the Clarksburg area and gave up on it and haven't been back Black Friday shopping since, other than maybe buying a few things online. But anyway, it is what it is. But anyway, if I don't talk to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that kind of stuff. But I'll probably be on again next Tuesday night. So anyway, thanks for running the net there, Tom, and back to you. AB8RL from N8OYY here from.
Good, Ed. One question. How are you accessing Wires X from Fairmont? Over.
Okay, we have a actually on the same frequency as one of the others, I believe 14721. It's connected to the internet 24/7 in Clarksburg. So I didn't have a big receive pattern, but I can turn my beam that way and get into it. So that's how I'm accessing. It's the Kilowatt 8 Delta Foxtrot repeater. N8OYY.
Okay, very good. I'd sure like to see more. To check into the nets here. I know there's a lot of hams in the Clarksburg, Bridgeport area, but thanks for checking in. Checking in, glad to have you. Why, my voice is, I'm losing it here. Okay, last on our list here is Sean, KE8 WRY in Buffalo. Good evening, Sean, and nice seeing you today.
Well, hello, and everybody on the net. Good to see you today, Tom. And just getting home here about an hour and a half ago after a busy day at school. So, you have 6 hours in the day off, but yet your evening seems to last forever, and then it goes by so quickly that you got to get back up at 5:15 or so and back at it again by 6 o'clock. So it's time of the year that it's cold, and you really question, especially between Thanksgiving and Christmas, if you want to go to work or not, or it's worth a sick day. And I don't want my students in the hands of somebody else, so I'm always like, yeah, I can't do that. But anywho, just trying to hope to get through another 12 and a half, I believe so, days before Christmas coming up, and then be off to the new year and be able to get some more stuff in and get going. So hope everybody's doing good. As far as the question there, Black Friday, I buy stuff all the time here and there, little things, but I really didn't buy. Well, I did buy some jeans. I buy my jeans, and Wrangler G's. They're $13 a pair on Black Friday, and the regular are like $20 a pair. And that's about all I wear, so buy about 10 pair, and that does for the whole year. So that's just about all I got. And yeah, back to the net. Back to AV8RL, KE8WRY.
Okay, very good, Sean. Thank you for checking in. Glad to have you. One question I have, are you going to be at the dinner on Monday, over?
Yes, sir. Me and my wife will be there.
Okay, very good. I had to put out an email today because they told us if we had any no-shows, we'd have to pay for them. I didn't really like hearing that, but I guess when you tell them you're having so many, so, but as long as we tell them the accurate number, we're in good shape. So looking forward to you both coming, that's for sure. Got some great prizes this year. Probably the best prizes for the Christmas party ever for the club. Okay, that's the end of the list. So at this time, we'll stand by for any or additional check-ins at Country Roads Net. Call Net Control, AV8RL. Okay, nothing heard. No additional check-ins. So no further comments on my end here. I want to thank everybody who checked into the Country Roads tonight, and welcome everybody back next week, especially Phil, KE0NCV, first time check-in. That'll be next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. This net is now formally closed with 19 check-ins at 8:53 p.m. local time. This is AV8RL saying 73s and good night.